It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to the Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast on this Wednesday, December 27th, 2023, coming to you from Bedford County, Virginia, Central Virginia area on a kind of a soggy, wet, rainy day. Started yesterday. I don't think it stopped. So hoping it goes away by this afternoon. I got a couple of errands I'd like to get run today. But anyway. So welcome aboard. Got some few stories today. Nothing major, nothing, just huge has happened in the industry so far this week. But the top story today is cruise guests injured on a flight home. Perfect score on some CDC inspections for the year. A cabin disaster. A big splash in Punta, Gorda, Florida. And Hurtigruten serves the best cheese. So says some people. And lots more here at 11 o'clock today. Folks, today is National Fruitcake Day. Not for me. This one I'll join Emily on. Yeah, no. I mean, today's the day you take the fruitcakes and you put them in a box and store them till next year and take them out and give them to somebody next year. Isn't that how it works? Don't like fruitcakes. Anyway, if you're listening via the blog, no. If you're listening via the podcast, you're not listening to my blog. You're listening to the podcast. If you're listening to the podcast, you can always access it by visiting my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. All the big hitters, doesn't matter, any of them, to search for travel and cruise industry news, and up pops the fat travel guy. And anytime you're listening, you can always hop over to the description of the podcast and get a link and join the video feed to check out any pictures or clips or whatnot that we might be using on that day's show. So I have the first cruise for Cruise with Chillies is up. It's the one I've talked about, the MSC Magnifica, sailing from Miami April the 8th. However, there is a slight difficulty as I can't get I made a page for it on my blog, cruising with Chillie's page, and I posted it there, and it doesn't show on the home page of the blog. So if you go to the blog, you don't see it. That ain't gonna work. Right after the show today, I'll get it posted. I'll probably post it on the blog itself, in the body of the blog, as opposed to on a special page. I've sent a message through to my tech guy, and he sent a message back, said he'll take a look at it when he gets back to his computer, which will be about an hour from now. Well, that's okay. But anyway, it's up, and it's available for booking. All you have to do is contact me, and I'll take care of it. But it's the MSC Magnifica. That's a four-day cruise, and you have the option to add 3 more days on it if you want to make it a 7-night cruise, which is probably what I'll do. We had a little slight slowdown on the subscriber count. Let's see what's happened here in the last little bit this morning. It is now we're T minus 80 now. So we have picked up a couple here this morning. 80 people to 5,000. So looking forward to that. I don't know what I'll do in the way of a celebration. I'll take my hat off and throw it up in the air or something. Okay, guys, the The top story today, see where I am, folks. What is this thing doing to me? There we go. If you haven't heard about this one, while flying home on a charter plane following a holiday cruise, 11 guests from P&O Cruises Arvia were injured by unexpected turbulence when with some travelers requiring hospitalization to treat their injuries. The plane diverted to Bermuda to ensure everyone could receive appropriate medical attention, but the diversion delayed travelers' return to the UK in time for the Christmas holidays. 225 cruise passengers boarded their chartered Maleth Aero flight late on Saturday, December 23rd, unaware that they'd be making an unexpected stop in Bermuda just after midnight on Christmas Eve. Arvia had just finished a 7-night sailing from Antigua to Barbados, including stops in St. Kitts, Martinique, and St. Lucia. Just after 2 hours into the flight from Barbados back to the UK, part of a vacation package included with the cruise fare, the plane encountered unexpected turbulence, and that's where the injuries occurred. There were 38,000 feet. I'm not sure what unexpected turbulence means, but I imagine that means the plane took a dive. Short, but it didn't crash or anything, but I'm sure it dropped. So it injured 11 passengers. They immediately, like I said, diverted to Bermuda as the closest possible emergency destination in order to get the passengers to health care as quickly as possible. Emergency medical personnel were on hand to meet the incoming aircraft. Fortunately, all injured passengers were able to be discharged from the hospital the same day, as all injuries were determined to be minor. But because of the holiday period and the need to thoroughly inspect the aircraft and ensure its safety and structural soundness, the flight did not resume until 4 p.m. yesterday, with a scheduled arrival at 3:30 this morning. So they missed Christmas altogether. All guests were put up in hotels in Bermuda with expenses paid by P&O Cruises. I mean, I'm making a little bit of fun of this, but I mean, I'm sure it was a scary situation, but, they missed Christmas. Sorry about that, folks. All right, guys. I'll be back with a couple more stories after a quick break from one of our network sponsors. Okay, the next story today, folks. I hope I did this right. No, I didn't. That's the picture I was supposed to have showed with the Arvia story. That's the Arvia. That's the ship that they were on before the thing was. Why did I show that picture? I have no idea, folks. Who knows? Okay. Oh, yeah, I do know that one too. That might be the next story, as a matter of fact. Did I have them in the wrong order? I sure did. Okay, now I see where this picture goes. See, folks, in case you're watching this at home, I find some way of screwing every show up. The pictures are in the wrong order. That was my fault. All right, so we'll go back to this picture with a different story. That might make a little more sense. I'm surprised Tom didn't call me and start complaining. Anyway, in 2023, 30 cruise ships from 11 different cruise lines have scored a perfect 100 during surprise health inspections from the CDC's vessel sanitation program. Unannounced health inspections are carried out twice each year for cruise ships that sail to and from U.S. cruise ports. Cruise lines do not know when they will take place, and ships must score at least 85 to pass. 3 cruise lines had 5 ships score a perfect 100 this year. Carnival Cruise Line had Carnival Celebration, Carnival Sunshine, Carnival Venezia, Carnival Conquest, and Carnival Panorama ace their health inspections. Celebrity Cruises had Celebrity Millennium, Celebrity Edge, Celebrity Solstice, Celebrity Eclipse, and Celebrity Summit all score perfect 100s. Norwegian had the Pearl, the Joy, the Sky, the Bliss, and the Sun. That's pretty good especially for the Sun and the Sky. That's older, smaller ships. Royal Caribbean's had 4 ships that aced the inspections. They were Allure of the Seas, Mariner of the Seas, Jewel of the Seas, and Voyager of the Seas. Oceania, a premium cruise line for Norwegian, had 3 of their 7 ships score 100. They were Riviera, Regatta, and the newest ship, the Vista. Holland America had Rotterdam and Eurodam. Disney had 2 also. They had the Wonder and the Disney Fantasy. 4 cruise lines had 1 ship in their fleet score the perfect score: MSC Seascape, Viking Octantis, Silver Seas Silver Moon, and Saga's Spirit of Discovery. Cruise ships are scored on a 100-point scale, with points deducted when there is a pattern of similar violations or one significant violation. During the 6 to 8 hour surprise inspections, 8 areas of the cruise ship are inspected. They are medical facilities, potable water systems, swimming pools and hot tubs, galleys and dining rooms, child activity centers, hotel accommodations, ventilation systems, and common areas of the ship. Covers a pretty good thing. I've not been on a ship when one of these was conducted, but I understand they're pretty daggone extensive. A cruise line pay a fee for the inspections. I didn't know this. It ranges from $1,300 to $23,920, depending on the size of the cruise ship. I had no idea. So that makes for a little interesting note on the whole cruise ship inspection thing. It costs the cruise lines money. All right. What a bummer this story is. When passengers book a suite, they're expecting nicer accommodations in exchange for the higher price, such as more space or extra amenities. But for one disappointed one disappointed couple, the luxury suite they spent thousands of dollars to book may have actually been one of the worst cabins on the ship. The dream trip quickly turned into a nightmare when the couple reached the cabin on board the Mardi Gras. They were disappointed to find the upgraded suite they paid nearly $6,000 to book had soaked floors and dirty, musty smell. The couple asked to switch to a new cabin, but were unable to move to new accommodations because the pre-holiday cruise was fully booked. At maximum, Mardi Gras can hold 6,500 passengers and 22,000 crew members. Carnival apologized for the inconvenience and explained that the stateroom had been damaged due to severe weather. Well, we know there was severe weather before the Christmas holidays on a lot of ships. Nearly a week into the cruise, that's toward the end of the cruise, the wet carpet could still be heard sloshing under people's feet, and the musty smell had turned into a bad mold smell. Made it difficult for the couple to sleep. Well, I guess. So far, Carnival Cruise Line has offered the disgruntled passengers an onboard credit to use. The day before the end of the cruise, they offer an onboard credit. Needless to say, the couple was not happy with that and feel the cruise line should reimburse them for the suite. While no resolution was reached when Mardi Gras returned to Port Canaveral on the morning of December 23rd, Carnival said it would be contacting the couple to try to fix these issues. I hope so, Carnival. Now, I realized that the next cruise was full. Okay, I can understand that. What I can't understand was you had to know on the morning of sailing that there was a problem. Why didn't you send up a crew and rip the carpet up and replace the carpet? I mean, it can be done in a matter of a couple hours. You got extra carpet on board the ship. I mean, maybe the couple would have only been put out for several hours while that's done, instead of having the whole week being destroyed and having to smell mold and put up with the big fans running all day and they're trying to dry it out. I don't know. There might not be a good answer to this one, folks, but that just seems a little lacking to me. Just saying. Okay. This is American Cruise Line. We talked to them a bunch. You know, these are river cruise ships or coastal. They call it the coastal cat. But American Cruise Line is set to make a maritime splash in Punta Gorda, Florida, introducing its inaugural cruise with the arrival of its newest ship, the American Glory. Anchoring just a short distance from Fisherman's Village, the vessel utilizes a tender to transport guests ashore, bringing a wave of new visitors to Southwest Florida just in time for the holiday season. The cruise allows passengers to explore Punta Gorda, providing an opportunity to experience local attractions such as the newly opened Sunseeker Resort. This addition to the cruise itinerary is expected to contribute positively to the community, fostering economic benefits for local businesses. American Cruise Line announced that it currently has 5 more ships under contract and under construction, scheduled for delivery over the next 2 years. And they're being made in the United States, folks. They're being made up in Maryland. To me, it's awesome that we're building cruise ships now that are competitive in the marketplace. So, congratulations to them. The other thing I like about it, as opposed to many of the European river boats, this at least has one accessible an accessible cabin and an elevator. So a wheelchair accessible person, handicapped person, could in fact sail on one of their ships. American Cruise Line, I still think you need to have a spokesman from the disabled community. And I would be happy to do that. Let's talk. All right. The final story this morning, folks, and I admit it poses a question. Hurtigruten, I just love to say that word, has a partner, Nedevlin Blah, has once again been named the best cheese at the 2023 World Cheese Awards, which recently took place in Trondheim, Norway. The cheese, produced by Gangstand Gardersteri, has been available on board the line's Norway Coastal Express since 2015, and so far they've used 8,500 pounds of Nedevlin Blah consumed so far on that ship. Who would have known? It looks to me like it's like a blue cheese. Like, I have no idea what it's like, but it looks like blue cheese to me, or some variation of blue cheese. Now, and I think that's interesting. But that's not the end of the story. Earlier this year, Hurtigruten launched its new culinary ambassador program, and the Bubbles of the Sea concept, initiated late last year when 1,700 bottles of sparkling wine were submerged outside the Norwegian coast at 112 feet for 6 months. What? Following its success, the brand has just submerged another 4,500 bottles to be indulged on board next year. I'd sure like to some information. How do they do that? You hang the damn boat, the bottles over the side, down to 112 feet? What happens if you hit a rock? So, no. 112 feet down. What happens if it freezes? Well, I guess. Well, that's in Norway. I mean, they could freeze, couldn't it? I don't know. I've never been to Norway. What some wine people will, and I suppose you get extra money if your wine has been chilled for 6 months at 112 feet below the surface outside. Okay, that's enough for today's news. I don't understand these things, folks. I'm just not smart enough to figure some of this stuff out, because that to me just seems weird. All right, let's go see who's fussing at me in the chat room today after I screwed everything up at the start. Hot Air Tom's with us. There's Hot Air Tom. I got to see you again, Tom. Mike's here from the other side of the pond. Hey, Mike. Joanne's with us. Hope y'all had a good Christmas. SS Titan 2024 version for Joseph Riker is back with us. Says hi there. Yahoo just got off the phone from QuickBooks support. Was worried it was going to interfere with Chillie. Oh, I see. You're happy that you were able to make the show instead of doing things you're supposed to do, like your payroll. Understood. Katie's with us. Says, good morning, Chillie. Sunny here in Orlando. Off to buy new clothes dryer. Yeah, I knew the old one died Christmas Eve. So, and it's not, it's tough to go outside and hang clothes, especially if you don't have a clothesline. So, remember when we were, well, I don't know, Katie, you might not be old enough to remember that. It's the way the clothes used to get dried. They went outside on the clothesline, flopped around in the air for a couple of minutes and had a bird pooping on them, whatever happened outside. Excuse me. Okay, let's see here. Boy, I wish I could blow this chat room up so I could read it better. Seems like maybe I'm getting old. We had a wonderful visit with my younger sister in Mount Joy Hospice. Very nice. The entire family together to wish my sister a very Merry Christmas. That's nice out here. Pouring rain today. Yep. My right wiper blade came off while on I-95. Ooh, that's not a good sign. I thought it went flying over the roof, but it must have stuck. The wiper blade was laying on the recess in front of the windshield. How it didn't blow away, I can't figure that one out. I can't either. There's Steve. Good morning, Steve, out in Kentucky. Kiba Fati is with us. Good morning. How are you doing? Nice to have you with us. Emily's here. Where was the Jolly Roger flag on the RV? I don't know, Hot Air. I can't answer that. I've not seen the RV yet, nor have I seen the Jolly Roger flag. But Dennis, where are you? I have to report I found the perfect sand tart cookies. Sand tart cookies? Am I reading that correctly? At the Stofers on Kessel Hill Supermarket. Super thin and very tasty. Very good. There's Cindy. Hi, Cindy. Yay for NCL Bliss. Less than 70 days until the girls' cruise from LA. Oh, awesome. Mm. And folks, if you're wondering about me coughing, I tried a, what do you call those things? Aerosol squirty thing. See if it would help my breathing. It didn't help my breathing at all. And it's made me start coughing again. So I quit using it. Katie says, yeah, it sounds awesome. I agree. I like cruising out of LA. I've done the Mexican Riviera probably 4 or 5 times. And I enjoy it. LA's not the best place in the world to spend some extra time because it's so crowded and it's so hard to get around for somebody that flies in and tries to go anywhere. But to go in and transfer over to the ship and get on a ship and sail from there, yeah, I like it a lot. Emily says, sounds like fun. My mother's parents in Maine hung sheet and clothes out on the side, clothesline. Yeah, when I was growing up, my mother did that all the time. I don't remember us having a dryer. At the first house I lived, we moved when I was 16 years old. That's the first time I remember having a dryer. I might be wrong about that, but that's the first one I have recollection of. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. As always, smash that thumbs up button if you haven't subscribed. Please take this as my invitation to do so. Cindy says, going 4 days prior and staying in Hollywood. Any suggestions for Cabo or Mazatlan? Have a beach excursion in Puerto Vallarta. Okay, when you're in I think it's Puerto Vallarta. To get to the excursion, the area where you pick up the buses or whatever you're going on, transportation to the excursion, you have to go through all the area where they're selling you crap. And when you go through the building and first get outside, on the left, the first open air stand, and it's a little rough looking, but it's a cafe with tables and stuff. That's the guy that has the yummy $5 pina coladas. At least they were $5 the last time I was there. And I highly recommend either before or after your excursion, you stop and have a $5 pina colada. It's worth it. So, just saying. Cabo, I've gotten off in Cabo, but I don't have any recommendations for there. Mazatlan, I usually go to Senior Frogs. I've been to that Senior Frogs a bunch of times, and it's a wild one. I've done that several times. So I don't think I've ever done an actual excursion in Mazatlan either, at least that I remember. Cabo, I've gone out to the rocks. That's kind of cool. Like on a glass bottom boat tour or something, out to the arch and everything. Uh, that's a pretty good one for Cabo, especially the first time. Uh, can't remember if I've done anything else in Cabo or not. I'll think about that, Cindy, and let you know. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up today. Sorry Dennis wasn't here, but at least he was here yesterday when I wore the Dennis shirt, the Mickey Mouse shirt. So, all right, guys, I'll be back same time, same channel tomorrow for Friday Travel and Cruise Industry News podcast as we go into the New Year's weekend. So that's it for today. As always, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. And don't forget, try to go find my April cruise if you're interested. Let me know. I'll talk to you real soon. Have a great day, everybody. See you tomorrow.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chilliescruises.